Boom, 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 boom. What's up, fellas?
Hey,
What's going on?
we are live.
Yeah, we
We're
live.
live.
All the way live.
We up in here.
Uh-oh, here we go.
How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Doing great, man. What a
If
week. What a
If
week.
you're coming in on the show, coming in now, come on and say hi to us. Let us know you're here.
Hey, hey. Card.
I gotta get a little Chris Rock in there, man.
Go ahead, man.
Started us out with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Summertime. And the background vocals was Chris Rock from Head of State saying, "That ain't right."
It ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. That ain't right. So with that being said, I hope everybody's doing good. Welcome to the Knowledge and Power Podcast with the crew, Jake, Nate,
Hey.
and Ray.
And Ray.
Yep. Fellas, can we just kind of we all look good tonight, so I'm sure that our week was restful. Can we just jump right into it?
Oh, yeah.
Can we just jump right into it?
So change our show name to the Bald Heads or something.
And funny thing about it, man, mine is a week old cut.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that fresh buzz cut.
Yeah, I guess it's lasting. But okay, so a lot of emotions for the week. And it is pretty much based and centered around the Oscars. Now, I'm not a big Oscar fan.
Right.
So I didn't get a chance to watch it live, but I came home and I was, settling in so I can get ready to watch my wind down YouTube favorite.
Yeah.
And when I got the TV onto YouTube, I just saw all this
stuff
splattered across the screen.
You was bombarded.
Yeah.
The slap.
So the slap. And so I figured we would just take, when we would normally talk about how our week was, we just jump right into that because we do have a guest tonight.
Yeah.
That we want to bring on and respect his time. So
exactly.
Yes.
Yep. So
it's hard to believe though. It's already been a whole week.
I know.
This went down.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's our first chance to sit down and be able to talk about it publicly as a
Yeah.
group.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What sayeth you fellas? How do you want to get started? I got a lot of emotions that I'm glad we didn't come and talk about this when it was fresh, and I had a chance to let it simmer to kind of think about it throughout the week, look at all the different angles.
Okay.
The many angles, yes.
Yeah, because it's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah.
I really think it is.
Like an onion, man. A lot of layers.
To peel back. Okay.
I think you should just jump off with your first point, and we'll just jump in behind you.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could tell you bubbling over, bro.
Yeah, you burn it.
First of all, I want to say this. We don't take lightly into gossiping or slandering the person's name. So this is not what the intent of this discussion is all about. What we have collected, pretty much, I think we've done our drill down and due diligence in the sense of trying to pull up enough information that was factual, and then some things would change and some things would go back again. So the information I'm trusting that I have to share was what I pulled from different social media sites and reading different articles here and there. So I have always been a huge Will Smith fan.
Okay.
Supporter since 85, sitting in my parents' house upstairs in a room, listening to the top 8 countdown and Nightmare on Elm Street. Parents Just Don't Understand. I have always appreciated Will because of, number one, I could listen to him around anybody.
Yeah.
He was always clean.
Always clean. So, and I carried that to college with no shame, and working with young people in the community, they would always say, who's your favorite rapper, Mr. Ray? And I'd be like, no doubt about it, Will Smith. Jiggy with it. But I will say, I was deeply disappointed in how he handled the situation, because Will is such a polished individual, and I know no one's perfect. I'm not saying that, but I was shocked.
Yeah,
it was out of character.
Everybody was shocked, bro.
It was out of character. I was upset that he came at my man like that.
Yeah.
So now, before we go too much further, I want everybody who's coming in, please feel free to chime in on this conversation. Throw your comments in, what you feel about the slap, what the repercussions are, what the implications are long term. Yeah, we want to hear from you. We will read your comments on the air live as they come in, if they add any value to the conversation.
And among comments, what are those other 3 things they should do?
Oh, Jake, I'm glad you asked. Please, if you're listening, if you're watching, please like this video. Share the content. Comment below. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right.
But yeah, this has like serious, and I already used the word implications. This has been a culture defining moment.
Yeah.
For the community at large, the world really. This will never be forgotten.
Never, ever.
That single moment, we'll see imagery of it forever. We'll always
22 Oscars.
This is going to be a defining moment for both, not only Will Smith, his wife, Chris Rock, the Academy, but people who saw it and experienced it in the audience, and us who saw it on TV and on social media. This is forever etched in our minds.
And the people who won.
And the people who won.
He spoiled their moment, man. He spoiled. Questlove was right up for the award that he got. And I mean, no one paid attention to his speech.
No, it was over.
They were trying to collect themselves.
After this, yep.
Yes. Oh, I will say this. Will Packer, who was the producer of the head producer of the Oscars, and he had an all-black cast.
Yes, right. I saw that today
for the first time ever.
He said that after that occurred, it felt like somebody had filled the room with cement, with concrete. Oh, sorry, with like poured concrete.
Wow,
all over the room. Yeah. That's a powerful statement.
That's a very powerful statement. Very powerful.
It was heavy. That's how I felt inside, like a rock was right in my gut after I watched it. I'm like, seriously?
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it happening, when I saw Will get up out of his seat and head towards Chris, I thought it was a skit.
I know.
I thought it was something that they prepared. I thought Will's gonna go up there and be silly like he normally is,
right? Make jokes
or something like that.
He and Chris are gonna go back and forth with the jokes, and then he go sit down. I was not expecting him to rear back, and slap my man across the face.
No,
like he did. And I admitted I thought it was staged. I'm like, these are actors. That's what actors do. This is just a big production. But the more it went on, and the longer this things as drawn out, it was a very real incident.
Yeah. His actions after he got back to his seat is what really solidified it. Man.
So my thing was the slap wasn't enough. So why'd you even bother doing that if you had to go, just retreat back to your seat and then still shout out obscenities? You should just did that in the first place. I mean, it's just
right. Now, where I come from, and Ray come from the same place, and Jake, come from a similar place. Not Detroit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Where I come from, usually the shouting starts first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you say about my wife?
Right.
And then keep my wife's name out your mouth. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. And then it escalates into a physical confrontation.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of happened backwards.
Because that shows that he's such a nice guy. He don't even know how to fight right.
Well, is that the Philly way?
Fight backwards.
Is that how they do it in Philly?
Oh,
maybe that's the Philly thing.
Do they whoop blank and take name later?
Man. But I want to talk about the fact that it was a slap rather than a punch.
Rather than a punch, I know.
So does that make it worse?
Now, according to Shannon
in
Sharp,
a way it does.
NFL history, Shannon Sharp.
I know, yeah.
He had a lot to say on his show with Skip Bayless, and he was saying how the slap goes back has racial overtones. Here's the picture. They're in the Oscars at the Academy, a very white established organization or establishment. He said if he had thrown a punch, that would have been unacceptable by a certain black standard. But because he slapped Chris, it was acceptable by established white supremacy standards. Because that's how they did us. They would spit on us. They would slap us.
Yeah. I did hear that.
You see what I'm saying? So that was his point. My point is the slap is an emasculating choice. When you slap another man, especially we talking about black men here, because black men, you get into a fight, you get into a fight.
Yeah.
But if you take the time to open hand slap another black man in front of all his peeps, you are really calling him out his name. You put him in his place. You letting them know that I've got the power here. You ain't nothing but a you know what.
Yeah. With the B.
Yeah, with the B. like the pimp prostitute status. You know, who's in charge here.
Yep.
It's an emasculating thing to do to another man. And then when he don't do nothing back,
yeah,
it makes it even look even worse. So the punch him would be one thing, but to slap him, that's just humiliating, and it's intentionally humiliating. So what he did, not that he only just reacted the way he reacted, but he chose a method of reacting that was meant to completely embarrass and break down Chris Rock.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Right, because I had to look twice. I thought it was a punch at first, but then I see it was a slap. I'm like, oh, that's he broke him down.
Broke him down.
Yeah.
One of our listeners says, what was wrong, especially given the fact he as well as Jada have publicized their personal life, which they really have, and get upset to the point of putting your hands on another brother publicly. It was prideful. Yeah,
exactly.
So I definitely agree. The Smiths, I'll be honest with you, like I said, I've always enjoyed Will as an artist. Don't know him personally, of course, but I enjoy his movies. What he brings to cinema, what he brings to Hollywood has been a breath of fresh air. But I will say I'm sick and tired of the Smith household. All the stories that have come out, and honestly speaking, I didn't know about Jada's issue,
entanglement,
about the alopecia, because her daughter has shaved and grew her hair back and shaved it so much. I just thought this was another thing that that Jada was trying to keep up with Willow, but but I want to read a quote, just a quick paraphrase from Will's speech.
Okay.
That really just took me over the edge. When he won, he said he has been called by God to love and protect people. So Matthew 5:46. I'm just going to read the first stanza of it. It says, "For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have?"
Right.
So he not really proving nothing if Chris is not lovable in his sight. According to the word. So you got ought against somebody.
Right.
Is that a reason to say that they're not lovable? I can't love them. I can't protect them. So Will is going the counter part of what the word is saying by saying, hey, I'm called to protect people. I'm called to love and protect people. But it only seems like he can only love and protect those that he's down with, or that's on his side. And that ticked me off. And he did not, he apologized to everybody but Chris, man. That wasn't cool. He had so many chances to recover. Again, we have meltdowns. Nobody's perfect. But you sat back in that seat. You had a lot of time to recover. Yeah. Even afterwards, you went to the after party.
Yeah.
Taking pictures and laughing and dancing. That was a chance to recover. You cannot tell me it didn't pop in your mind. Damage control. I got to do something.
And he also laughed at P. Diddy's joke him and Jada laughed when
and
he
Regina
didn't.
King joke. Not Regina King, but
Right.
Her name is Hall.
Yeah, Regina Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you forget that, Nate?
I know, right? Because I got King on it. I got. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, they laughed at that joke hard.
Yes, that she was petitioning him to come up on stage because
right. Yeah.
Jada approved of it.
Exactly.
Man, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Right.
So I've got feedback that that Will did that initial apology to the Academy and everything like that because he needed to protect the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
believe so. Yeah.
He needed to protect the bag. He wasn't really concerned about Chris or how Chris felt. He was concerned about, well, I know what I just did.
His
It's really going
endorsements
to
and
impact.
everything.
It's going to impact my income, my influence. I need to settle this right quick.
Right.
Well,
So that's probably why he attacked the apology on that front so hard.
Well, as of today, I found out before we went on that he's already been put on pause with Sony.
Really?
With Netflix has canceled.
Yep.
One of his upcoming movies that they were working on, and I didn't know this, that Bad Boys 4 has been paused.
Oh,
so
no.
I mean, it's just a domino.
But see, he didn't think about that before he walked up there.
You see that?
See, now I said backstage, and I'm not and y'all can get mad if you want to. I'm trying to say backstage. I told y'all, is it possible that Will had been under a hex or something, a Jada hex?
The way the switch happened so fast.
The way the switch just happened because when Chris cracked that joke, right? He cracked the joke. He laughed. He clapped his hands. Ha 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 ha. And Jada was sitting over there, making her faces and looking upset.
Yeah.
And she looked at him. He looked at her, and then all of a sudden,
he said, "Uh-oh."
He switched.
Yeah.
And he got up. It's like he didn't have no control almost. But here's some insight I got. My cousin came to visit from Las Vegas. Cousins, and his name's Larry.
Larry
Chanel. And he had an interesting perspective on at least Will Smith's mind or state of mind during this whole thing.
Okay.
And I'll make it real quick. Over the past few years, he has been vilified in social media, press, everything because of basically the entanglement, how Jada treated him, the things that she said about him. He's been called less of a man. He had the dude that tried to kiss him on the red carpet. And he has had all these negative experiences that were trying to demean him. And he's tried to do damage control and trying to make apologies for it and tried to excuse things and try to handle all the stuff that's come at him from in his personal life that's been made very public that you alluded to earlier, Ray. And this thing that happened, my cousin says this wasn't even about Jada. It was about him saying enough is enough. Y'all not gonna punk me not one more time.
A personal.
I'm a man. I'm a man, and I'm about to show you how much of a man I am. I'm not gonna let this man make me look bad again. So it's a do or die moment. Jada looked at him like, okay, what you gonna do, bro? He just called me out. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stand up for me, or am I have to go to find somebody else to comfort me?
That was the look she gave him.
Let me say this.
You know what I'm saying?
And I get what you're saying.
And he responded in kind. That slap was a proclamation of I'm taking my control back.
But guess what, man? He's an artist. I believe you and cousin Larry are on point. But he is an artist, a very talented artist with a vast vocabulary. Will could have easily got behind the mic, dropped him a diss track, like they do in the rap industry.
Exactly.
So I'm not down with how he handled it. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. He did it in response to a joke in bad taste. It was a joke.
So how much responsibility do you think Chris Rock bears in getting slapped?
None. Zero.
I don't. Right.
Was he Was he
He
wrong
did.
for saying what he said to?
I don't think there was any malice.
G.I. Jane joke.
No.
We know Chris Rock is he goes for the juggler with his jokes.
Always has.
He's unapologetic. He can rub you raw sometimes, but it's always jokes. It's always trying to get that laugh.
His comedic style is he does the dozens.
That's it.
And we all know how it was when we were kids growing up. You start getting personal with it. Well, a lot of people they don't build their career on that who are comics, but that's his style.
Yes, his style.
Always has been his style. But I'm going to say this, and we can move on from this. I'm going to say what you're doing is you hired him to do a job. He did his job. That's just like saying to a clown at a circus, okay, Michelle and Barack Obama are sitting in the front row tonight. Please don't throw the confetti or throw the water in the people in the front row. You cannot ask a person to, scale back from who they are, what you expect from a person.
Right.
So, Richard Pryor, my favorite is Eddie Murphy. I mean, they said some pretty inflammatory things over their career path. He did nothing different. It was a joke. I mean, I sound like Chris saying that. Now it was a joke, man.
It was.
G.I. Jane joke. What am I doing any different? I mean, they talked about Magic when he had AIDS. Really he had HIV, but they gave him AIDS. They talked about Michael Jackson, the trial issues, him touching little boys, and his vitiligo,
and all those are touchy subjects.
Yes.
So alopecia is right up there.
Yes, but
the sad thing about it,
it's not exempt.
It's the fact that it was two black men at the Academy. You know how we tried to get representation at the Academy,
right? And of all years, when the whole crew was, black, producing crew,
that's the sad thing. There's two black men, and and we feel how we feel about it. A lot of people who are maybe in different generations might feel differently. I feel like it had to be handled, the disrespect, but it should have been handled behind closed doors.
Yep, it should have.
It should have been handled behind closed doors. And kudos to Chris Rock because, like I said earlier, backstage, he put the whole black culture on his shoulders and bared us up well because he did not fool in front of all these. And my cousin did point out, I didn't see it, maybe you guys saw it, that when he first got slapped, he did ball his fist up.
Oh,
for a quick second.
Yes, dude.
And then he had to think in that moment.
He thought,
hit him back? Do I hit him back and we start fighting on the stage?
Right.
And if we start fighting on stage, how is this going to look to not only America, but black people? They don't want us here in the first place.
He was smarter than that.
He made a decision at that moment to look like a punk for the culture. He took one for the team.
And I commend him for that.
Yeah, I do too. and he took he also in that moment took the negativity of his name out of people's mouth.
And
put it all on Will.
It's all on Will.
He did.
He didn't respond in kind, so it's all on Will.
And he's still not really saying anything.
And it can't be a black issue now. It's just a Will issue.
It's just a Will issue. It's a Will issue.
It was genius level response on Chris's part because he held his composure to the degree where it does not affect the entire black culture. It just make Will and Jada look bad.
And guess what I heard? The Chris Rock ticket sales are skyrocketing for his comedy tour.
Everybody want to hear what he got to say, but that first one he did afterwards, he didn't say much about it. So we'll see. Yeah.
And he's not my favorite comedian, but I mean, he deserves a commendation for that.
He deserves to be, and the people that have supported him. I know that Wanda Sykes supported him right in and there. And some other folks supported him. He deserves to be. He deserves his name to be mentioned in this conversation because he did something very unique.
He did,
especially in today's society where we just pop off and lose control in a heartbeat. He showed how to stand up and take one for the team, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I'll say this, and we can get ready to bring our guest out.
Okay.
Jake, I think I see you had the same video that I saw with the body language.
The body language. Yeah.
Yep. if anybody would like to really see the insight, these people get paid for a living to do this.
Yeah.
And he broke down the whole ordeal from Jada's side to Will's side to Chris' side.
Yeah.
And he did ball his fist up, and he did go over how for a second he shook it off and he started mumbling some words like no. He had to pull himself down.
All in a split second. It was like that. He had to make that decision like that.
But I'm gonna tell you, man,
what's at stake?
I was in a situation, I'll just say this, where I was confronted in front of many people.
I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry.
And I wasn't physically assaulted, but I was
provoked.
I was provoked big time. And in that split second, like you said, where we come from, Nate, I really the rage came, fueling through me. But I thought of the bigger aspect of who I would disappoint.
Yeah.
And I did not want to let them down on their night.
Yeah.
So I pivoted. I deferred. And to other people, it looked like I was punked. I cowered out. But all I can say is I still have the respect and love of that person.
Yep.
Because of the choice that I made and did not react to that split decision that was right there. Right there. Man. So it can be done. And I'm not saying we always make those great choices. But my thing is, if you make a bad choice, just be man or woman enough to recover from it and own up to it quickly. It's all about recovery time. That's important. That's important. Yeah.
It's not worth it. I believe that's what Chris Rock thought. Yeah. That's what came to him eventually. This is not worth it.
It's a bigger scenario at play, and if I react rather than respond,
then,
who knows what happened.
Yep. So real quickly, I'm gonna read through some of these comments. They've been flowing through big time.
Okay.
Everybody knows Chris is a comedian. It's not like he called, that's true, Jada out of her name. Shake my head, because he really didn't.
No.
Will just needs to get over himself. Chris took one for the team. And last one is excellent comments, Selena. So another person.
Thank you so much for all those comments. Thank you.
Another person watching complimented all the comments that Selena's been throwing out. So yeah, like I said, it really charged everybody. It's almost like I was talking to today. I was talking to the pastor at church. I'll just say that I don't want to use his name, but and he said the way people were tweeting after that and FaceTiming and texting, it was almost like Obama had won all over again.
It's huge, man. It's
because everyone was shocked. It put the world at a stall.
It's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But that being said, okay, Nate, you want to introduce our guest?
Okay. Yeah. It's time for the guest.
Yes.
Okay. We've got a great guest coming on today. Kind of a continuation of our millennial conversation that we had a couple weeks ago. I want to bring on to the stage Mr. Derek Oaks Jr. He's a proud father of two, right there from Muskegon Heights, Michigan, right there near Jake. He's a graduate of Central State University. He graduated from there with a bachelor's degree, then went on to attend Baker College of Flint and got his master's degree in business administration with a concentration in healthcare management, and is currently pursuing a doctorate in public health at Capella University. Now that's cool. You know, the education that he's had has geared him towards business and healthcare, but it's interesting that he's taken a pivot and is now becoming very successful in real estate and his own property in Muskegon, Airbnb, and a multi-unit home, and is looking to expand his real estate portfolio this year. And we just are excited to talk to him. He's like I said, a dad of two. Participates in his church. He's a musician. He plays the saxophone. Lots of ventures and lots of interests. We please welcome Mr. Derek Oaks Jr.
All right. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Knowledge.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, D?
What's going on?
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate you.
Glad to have you.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Before we slide into your impeccable resume and all that you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Do you just have any kind of quick comments you want to add to the slap conversation we were just talking about before we get started?
Well, man, Ray, I agree with your point. In those times, you have to learn how to show some composure. All that Will stands for, all the work that he's done, especially as Black men, we have to take some time to think. And granted, you don't know some of the things that he and Jada deal with from an emotional standpoint, with her disease and how that affects her and things like that. And I completely understand that may have been a sensitive topic for him, but as Black men, we have to do our due diligence. We have to show composure. We have to be better. In a sense, we always have to be, a few steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? And even when things aren't necessarily bad, I know in the Black community, especially Black men, we shy away from therapy and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's critical, to really focus on that mental health component as well. So, like I said, I was embarrassed as a Black man. Chris showed composure, class,
impeccable boys.
Poise. And he kept the show flowing. And like you guys stated, it could have went way worse, but unfortunately, it was just unacceptable.
There's a state you just when you said what you said, Derek, you made me think of a statement I heard a long time ago. And I heard older person told me that to climb to the top of a ladder, it takes several steps. But one misstep can send you right back down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Come on, early wisdom nugget.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a pre-wisdom nugget. Wisdom pre-nugget.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I know I'm going to get off this topic, but I just want to ask: does anybody think? Because I've heard this from younger folks, and I say younger, I mean like 30s, 20s. That kudos, shout out to Will for defending his wife's honor. Does anybody feel like that?
No.
I don't.
No.
I do not. But I've heard that from that age group as well.
Okay, I just wanted to find out if anybody else felt like that. Like I said, it had to be handled, but I think it should have been handled differently.
It had, that. What did he defend? She was not. Here's my thing. So I want to make sure because I don't want any attacks later on. I'm all for you defending your woman, your family,
right,
whomever.
She wasn't in danger.
She wasn't in danger.
Come on, Derek. She was not in danger.
That's the thing. Not for a physical altercation.
Right.
Or no, it wasn't even an altercation. Not for someone to strike you.
Right.
No.
She wasn't in danger. So it could have been an exchange of words, like we've already said. It could have been handled behind the scene. He could have got there. He's so savvy with his wording. Yeah. He could have got there and took his speech and cut Chris down during his speech. That's the Will I have come to know.
Or he could have built his wife up in his speech.
Bam.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh, that would have been even better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's why I love this show when we have guests on.
Yeah.
That we get. That is so true.
Yeah.
So true.
But so Derek, I just wanted to launch out and ask so
that's my daughter. What she say?
She said, I feel that way. Yeah. I don't know. I feel that way. LMAFO. I don't want to date myself. I don't know what that.
You know what it means.
You don't want to say that. No.
Okay. So Derek, I heard Nate read your resume, and he talked about you going for your doctorate, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But he also said something about you have a background in healthcare.
Yes.
So I'm really interested in what that is because my bachelor's is in healthcare management.
Okay. Yeah. I worked in the healthcare industry for the first 5 years of my career. So initially, when I moved back to Muskegon back in 2014, I had a few interviews lined up with PNC Bank in a local healthcare facility. And so I decided to launch off into healthcare. So I worked entry-level role initially, and then was promoted to managing our safety and compliance program, doing all of the HR. And then once I received my master's, I was promoted to a senior health executive. So, I was doing a lot of, I had 40 employees, doing a lot of marketing, developing programs for, kids, and a lot of partnerships with the facility, working with, the University of Michigan, University of Detroit Mercy, doing rotations through our dental practice and things like that. So,
wow,
it's been a blessing for sure, man.
Now, all that you just named, I gotta ask this. And how old are you, Derek?
I just turned 30 in February.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another good representation of millennials.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's you've been busy for sure.
Very.
Definitely.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay. Why the segue to something different? Because you're off launching your own business now.
Yeah, so a lot of people, it's pretty interesting. So working at a community health center, you really kind of get a comprehensive view in terms of healthcare and the different things that affects health. So one of those things being the social determinants of health. So and just kind of mirroring that with my real estate. A lot of people don't understand that, when you have a consistent, solid housing foundation, individuals have better health outcomes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So if you're in a rural, economically challenged area, obviously you'll see a lot of individuals with higher comorbidities, high blood pressure, chronic illnesses, and things like that. So one of the things that I've been trying to focus on in terms of real estate is, kind of trying to bridge that gap from a housing standpoint. So because if you think about it, if a person's water is turned off, if they don't know how they're going to pay their light bill, if they have mold in their home, they're not thinking about managing their blood pressure.
Oh, that is so true. That is so true.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, housing is a key social determinant. So just really trying to be intentional about bridging that gap, helping people out. I remember the first investment property that I flipped was really a pivotal moment in my career, because the individual, I had a lot of applications and things like that, and I essentially could have rented the property out to anyone. But, this particular family, their previous landlord, they had mold in the home. Children were getting sick and things like that. And she just came to me in tears, like, I need this, so, and even really, again, the income requirements weren't even there, but, like, don't worry about it. It'll get taken care of. And I took a chance.
That has to be a powerful feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to say that I'm in a position to make that call.
Yeah.
It's got to be empowering.
Absolutely. And again, I've studied business. I'm all about making money. But you have to have that charismatic component to it. And so I rented it out to her, and I was a landlord for 5 years, up until I decided to, liquidate a lot of my assets. So in the height of the pandemic, so it was definitely a good experience for me, for sure.
Okay.
That's good.
I have a question. I can see how that move into real estate was a progressive move, and you're bridging the gap between healthcare and the social aspect. Makes a lot of sense. Where did you get this this conviction to pursue business education to the degree that you have, to where you've experienced a certain level of success at such a young age already? Where do you get that acumen from?
Really just kind of studying in undergrad. I had a lot of professors that I cling to. I worked in the College of Business during my undergraduate career, so I had a lot of mentors. But one of the great mentors that I've had. His name is David Spears. He's actually originally from the Muskegon area.
Muskegon doing it big.
Yeah, man. And he's doing this thing. He's over on the east side of the state. He's an engineer by trade. He's a patent attorney, and he's heavily involved in real estate as well. So, just really having a lot of conversation with him, and just in terms, and even when we were younger, just talking about what we want to do and how we want to impact our community and how we want to make money, and just really place a lot of emphasis on that generational wealth. My sons play a extremely integral role in that. I want to be able to, here you go, boys, take care of it. Here's the mantle, keep it going. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
So, because, other cultures, they're phenomenal at it.
Yeah, they are.
They're phenomenal at it. You know what I'm saying? So, we need to be a little bit more intentional about, ensuring that our children has resources from generation to generation so we can keep this thing moving.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really good.
Can you talk to us a little bit about we know that real estate has always traditionally been a great source of family wealth. Things have changed in the last few years, especially with the pandemic. I heard you said you liquidated a bunch of your assets during the height of the pandemic. But talk to us about how, especially as young folks, as we like to say, can jump on this and understand that real estate is still a viable wealth building option. Talk to us a little bit about how real estate does that for families.
Man, so there's a lot of different avenues. One of the biggest things I would stress is credit. Too, just ensuring that we're educating our children and letting them know, you can get a mortgage, you can flip a property, you can go in and rehab it and sell it for potentially double. You know what I'm saying? There's things to do and things that can be done. One of the things that I've really kind of tapped into after I liquidated a lot of my assets at the height of the pandemic, because, the reality is everything was expensive, and it's still expensive to purchase homes and things currently. So I liquidated a lot of things, just purchased a multi-unit back in January. So really looking to get into the Airbnb space. We're still renovating right now. I do have a tenant in the in my front unit, and then just converting the back into an Airbnb. So, really, again, from a logistical standpoint, it's very critical that you have those Airbnbs and things in areas that are thriving, So again, mine is close to downtown Muskegon, literally in the backyard. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the area, but you can look in the backyard and see Heritage Landing. There's a lot of different things going on, art festivals, and we just built the community just built the convention center, and a lot of different things. So there's a lot of tourist attractions. We have the beaches and things like that. So again, we just have to be intentional and very selective as to how we move from a real estate perspective, and select those areas appropriately so you can, make money and live good. You know what I'm saying? So,
who are your partners?
I do it solely.
Woo!
This man
goodness.
I'm a one-man band.
Wow.
So you're finding your properties and you're doing
all your
research and everything all on your own.
Yeah, and I do have contractors that help me. Obviously I can't do all that, but in terms of, even just for a flip,
that's what I was gonna say. When you should see when he flips a house, man, it's top notch.
Yeah, man. But and again, you just have to have that quality there, making sure everything is done correctly, permits and things are pulled, and people have a health, safeful environment to be in. But I just go in and design everything, see exactly how I want things laid out, how I would like it. We just kind of execute the plan accordingly.
Wow. By what age would you say things start taking shape where you saw the vision you had come into pass?
So I became a landlord at really 22.
Because Oh wow, my goodness,
23.
that is awesome. So what the discipline that it took? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Talk about the upbringing.
Yeah. Talk about that, and what did you have to? What
Yeah,
did you have
so
to deny yourself from the delayed gratification? That's what my dad told me, and though I didn't listen, it was good advice. If you just delay the gratification now, you can just write your ticket later. How did you do it?
Yeah. You know, I had a very, very solid family growing up. You know, I was raised by my mom, my three aunts, and my grandmother. You know, good, bad, ugly, whatever the case may be. They always, stood by me, always encouraged me to be better, to grow, to pursue my education. I could do it and things like that. And so I just kind of took those things, just kind of ran with it. One thing I credit my grandmother, because she's just played a very prodigious role in my life personally. She always took me to church, when I was younger, so really, and so when things get tough and things get difficult, you always have the Lord to lean on, you know what I'm saying? And so my Aunt Erica said something pretty critical maybe to me. My mom, one of my mom's youngest sisters, when she gets frustrated and things like that, she always told me to pause, pray, and proceed. And so that's just kind of the stance that I take, whether it be real estate, whether it be working on my doctorate, whether it be being a father, because when I had my first son, a lot of patience, having a newborn and things like that, so just really having a supportive system, someone and people that believe in me, believe in my vision. And then, my grandmother always told me as well. She said it's crazy because, a lot of millennials, we think, we can do this, we got together, but it's important to listen to your elders for sure.
Say that again.
She always, one thing she told me, she said, baby boy, it's not about how much money you make, it's what you do with it. And then and just kind of looking back, her raising four daughters alone and things like that. My grandmother, she's a soldier. She made it shake, paid off her vehicles, paid off her home and things like that. So really just and she had four daughters. I was the first grandchild. And she always wanted a son. I was a boy, so we were very close. But I always watched how she moved financially, and it wasn't like my grandmother was a millionaire or had a lot of money, raising kids. But, again, she was very intentional on what she did.
Yeah.
With her resources, So, I credit a lot of the successes to my mom and her three sisters and my grandmother for sure, because I definitely wouldn't have been able to, get my master's and pursue a doctorate and, accomplish a lot of things professionally if it wasn't for those basic life fundamentals.
Gotcha.
That's good. That's good because, like you said, a lot of people in your age group think they got it all together and don't want to hear the advice or the wisdom from their elders. So that sometimes they make their way hard as a result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try to tell them that the bridge is out ahead, but they want to go see for themselves. And end up going over the edge. So I mean, I think it's commendable that you were able to, take those lessons from your elders and apply them.
Right. And not get sucked away by the environment, surroundings. Yeah.
Proud of you, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. And again, there were challenges ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going. That's what I was going to hit you with.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I was insane and I did everything the right way. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I listened all the time, because I mean, I would definitely be misleading you at that point. But again, having those roots, having that faith in God, having that discernment, that ability to pray, that the ability to ask God, okay, look, Lord, I don't know what's going on right now, but what is the next step to this? You know, I've depleted a lot of financial resources and things like that. You know, how am I going to move through this? You know, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, you know, I just had all the money in the world to just do all these projects initially, because it was tough. You know what I'm saying? But push through it.
Can you give us an example of a bounce back story?
That's good. That's
where
good.
you failed, because you know it's easy to talk about the successes, but a lot of times people learn from those mistakes along the way, and they end up, the recovery factor is priceless.
Yeah, for sure. So when I was in high school, it's so funny because I was always a smart student, could always do the work and things, you know, but I didn't do anything. You know, after my freshman year in high school, man, I'm not gonna lie, I would skip school. You know, I would go hang out with my friends. You know, my grandmother, I would go to. She would take me to school, and I would go to her job, and then I would go to jazz band in the morning because that's all I cared about. And then I would just go home and then come back to school enough time to get picked up.
Wow.
You know,
Classic.
So yeah, man. So needless to say, you know, I graduated high school, you know, with below a 2.34, you know, whatever. It was horrible.
Wow.
You know, and so the only thing that kind of kept me going, again, I just love music. So I initially how I got to Central State was a jazz scholarship. And man, that was a really critical time in my life, man, because I applied to so many schools and got denied. I mean, Grand Valley, Michigan State was my dream school. I wanted to go to Michigan State really, really bad because actually all three of my aunts attended Michigan State. And so I was always on campus and stuff, and that's just where I wanted to go. But so many denials, you know, just so much ambiguity in terms of how my life is going to play out. You know, I was stressed out. I was just like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to just try to, you know, probably go work in a factory, just go do something. I was just confused, you know? So luckily, Miss Billy Bruce, here in Muskegon, she's on the board for Muskegon Public School, Board of Education, and she was just like, "You need to go to Central State. You need to go to Central State." And everybody that know Miss Bruce, you know, she's very you know, blunt, straightforward, you know. And I'm just like, I don't want to go to Central State. So what I did was I did a jazz CD, you know, all scales, and did a lot of. Just a really nice track with a lot of jazz standards, and I sent it to Central State. Wow! And they gave me a music scholarship.
Wow!
Based off of that.
So basically, the only thing they wanted me to do, because my grades weren't good, was to attend their summer early start program, just to make sure I could, you know, handle the rigor of the work, which I wasn't worried about that. So, you know, I did that, got in, and you know. It's been up ever since, you know, got to Central State, you know, in 3.8, 4.0s, you know, a lot of 4.0 semesters. But, you know, that period between like 2009 to 2010, I mean, it was just a lot of heartaches, a lot of mental strains, you know, just that transition, not knowing what I'm gonna do. I mean, in and out of trouble, you know, got into a little bit of law trouble and things like that. You know, it was just a really frustrating time. You know, where I just wanted to say, forget, I don't care. But, you know, again, you know, the Lord just kind of in the back of my mind, you can do it, son. You can do it, son. You know, and just having that family component that just really helped me this kind of catapult things. And so even when I got to Central State, I mean, I kind of had another hiccup in terms of what I wanted to do, because studying music actually took the fun out of it for me. So now I'm just like, okay, now I'm here. I'm doing good. I'm doing good in music. I done racked up a few little student loans. What is going on? So I decided to pursue business. I actually worked at an assisted living facility all throughout high school.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how the love for healthcare kind of developed. So I was just like, well, I'll just get a business degree. I mean, I can do numbers, I can do operations and things like that, and then kind of transcend it into the healthcare component.
Sweet.
Wow.
Well,
that's an awesome story, man. Thank you.
We are pressed up against the hour.
Wow. It goes so fast.
It goes fast.
Going fast, boy.
We got about 4 minutes left before we need to close out and step into the wisdom nugget. But I just have one thing I want to ask you, Derek, is number one, before we leave, I want you to give us the name of your company and so we can definitely let people know about that. And two, I wanted to ask if have you thought about doing anything outside of Muskegon, like spreading out?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely open to spreading out. I'm getting into, other real estate ventures in other states, counties and things like that. So very open to that. I just feel, it's critical just to ensure that the foundation here is solid and definitely open to branching out, Yeah.
So. Because if your work looks that good, like Jake has echoed and
man,
supported. Hey, we need something like that in other cities too.
Yeah.
So people can benefit from it. So
for sure.
Yep. What's the name of your company?
Yeah, how can people get in touch with you?
Oaks Estates Investments. We buy, rehab, flip property, and we also provide loan signing agent services. So we close refinance loans. We do home equity line of credits, things like that, get those documents notarized and things like that, get those loans closed in a timely fashion and, give people the services that they deserve.
Wow. What's the name again? One more time.
Oaks Estates Investments.
Oaks Estates Investments. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Oaks with an E.
Yep.
Okay.
Oaks with an E. Yep.
Great.
DBA Oaks Estates.
There's two things I got to mention.
Go ahead, bro.
A little while back, when you're talking about your son and you used the word integral, I got to commend you on that because so many people want to turn that word into integral. And with a completely non-existent meaning.
Right. They got to read, man. They got to read.
Right. You're the second person I've ever heard to use it properly.
Yeah, man.
And also, I want everybody to notice that art behind you.
Yeah.
That is an interesting piece of art right there.
Yeah, look at it.
I got to say, this young man has been my biggest patron of Jay Harris abstract artistry.
All right.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome. That's a nice piece right there, too.
A lot of work in my Airbnbs and things that, with your artwork, too, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. So am I.
Okay, well, we thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it, man.
It has been a pleasure, and love to hear when young people, because we can say that because we're all older. Yep. When you're doing big things, that's always we want to put you on the spotlight. That's important.
Appreciate that.
Spotlight.
Yep. So that being said, Nate, are you doing our wisdom nugget for tonight?
Yes, I am.
For tonight. All right. But before you do this wisdom nugget,
okay,
I got to give you some parameters.
Yes, sir.
You can't crack on Chris, man.
Nope. No funny jokes tonight. As a matter of fact, my wisdom nugget has something to do with the bounce back story that not the story, but the bouncing back that you brought up earlier.
Okay. Well, with that being said, Nate, you can't say Chris was like one of those bop it bags that you hit and he came back up real quick. Nothing like that.
All right.
Nope. I will not be cracking on Chris or Will tonight.
Okay. Oh, you can crack on Will all day, all night.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. Okay.
You done with Will.
No, you know what? And here's the thing I want to say real quick. I'm glad you said that, Jake. I was done. I did tell a friend of mine that I was done. They couldn't believe it, but I was angry. I was reactional at that moment because it was fresh. But I will continue to work through. And I forgive him. I just want to see the Smiths get the help that they need. That's all. Because I do not want to hear about a TMZ 911 call. I'm being honest about that. Yeah. But with that being said, Nate, here's your solo. Give us that wisdom nugget so we can get up out of here.
All right. I just want to encourage everybody today. about losing. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we fail, but that's okay, because a setback is just a setup for a comeback. So come back stronger, come back better, come back wiser. Don't get stuck. Come back.
Come back.
Awesome, Nick.
I like it.
That was good, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That was good.
I think that's wise.
Yeah, I think that is.
wise.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to the Knowledge and Power podcast. We look forward to hanging out with you all again next Sunday. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.
That's right. All right.
I saw the Batman, by the way. I'm sorry. Sorry to throw that in there. I saw it. So we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, as long as you call it the Batman and not Batman, because I don't own that. I don't own this.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. All right.